Hey guys, today is 2 weeks post Lefort revision and hardware replacement. So I wanted to give an update on how things are going. For those of you that are new to my channel or my situation, I had a bilateral TJR replacement and 3-piece Lefort with Dr. Movahead in September of 2024 due to an osteochondroma or bone tumor that was misdiagnosed 17 years prior. That was growing in my left mandible, shifting the midline of my jaw towards the right and causing subsequent degeneration of both joints. So that's what led to the surgery. I was healing phenomenally well, and then on September 12th, I was eating and felt a suction cup feeling followed by a pop, and we happened to be driving to Chicago at the time to board a flight to Portugal to celebrate this whole journey coming to an end. And the fact that we made it and celebrate the 1 year of the surgery. And so it took until the 22nd when we got home to get scans and find out that my hardware failed that was in my Lefort. So you have, or at least for me, I had both joints, and then you have hardware here, and all of that came from Stryker. So my hardware failed, it cracked here, and then I was feeling a lot of movement in my maxilla or my upper jaw. And so I actually had 2 surgeries in 6 days. The first one was on October 7th, I believe, and that was where we went in office, and he made an incision in my mouth from here, looked at the hardware, removed the cracked hardware, and then did diagnose the non-union. So he was able to put his instrument in the space with the hardware and wiggle it, and my whole maxilla moved. So from there, a testament to Dr. Movahead's passion and his fierceness and the skill of his team in the span of 3 business days, I do mean 3, they were able to get prior authorization from insurance. He was able to make custom plates with a different company called Synthes and get them expeditedly shipped. And they were also able to reserve a space in the OR at Mercy South again for that Monday. So we came home for 4 days and then drove back to St. Louis Sunday night for about I think it was a 3-hour surgery on Monday. I think that was the 12th. And for that, he did an incision all the way across, removed all the hardware, put the new hardware in. He did have to make all new cuts for my Lefort because the cut bone heals better together than bone that's like older. And then he also took an autograft, or a graft from myself, from my chin. So he made an incision down here internally and then removed a piece of bone about that big. And I know this because he took a video for me so I could see it. So I got to see that where he removed that bone. He then cut it in half and put 1 piece on each side of my Lefort. And then he also, I don't know if packed is the right word, that's what I'm envisioning in my brain, but he used an allograft or a donor bone called Vivigen, and was able to pack that in this space as well. He warned me that because of the grafting that I would feel very full, swollen, and tight, and I will testify that that is 100% how I've been feeling. Like, my face feels so heavy right here, and like, I honestly, I'm to the point now where if you don't know me, you can't tell that I'm swollen. And you don't necessarily see it from the front, but from the side especially, you still can. But it feels, and he told me not to mush on it, so I'm not really mushing, but like, it feels as hard as a rock through here. It feels like it has a pulse. I've described it like a zit that needs to pop but has 1,000 tiny ants crawling in it too. Like, there's just this sensation that's almost like this like tingling sensation. I ran this product called Vivigen through ChatGPT and learned so much by putting in my own donor graft, and then also this product. Essentially what it did was triggered my body's response to do a rapid accelerated healing process. So it is very quickly creating circulation to try to keep that bone or that area living, and as I understand it. And I just think that is so cool. It has been really fun to learn about all of that. So um, I was on a no chew diet for a week. And then after a week, I was able to chew things like avocado and scrambled eggs, which did increase my pain a little bit. So I'm not going to lie, I mostly just started swallowing those things whole. And then starting today, they said I could advance my diet further. I'm still pretty sore. They did give the caveat of that it didn't make me hurt worse, or as long as I can continue to progress well. So I'm being cautious about that. On the note of food, I do have very, very exciting news. My brother and I are going to be publishing my cookbook, hopefully with a timeline of in the next 2 months. As of now, I've been working on this cookbook. It's been a passion project of mine for a little over a year. Um, Whenever you tell people you can't chew, because if you remember, I didn't chew food for 2 years before surgery because I was hurting so badly. Whenever you tell people you can't chew, the most common response is, oh, wow, you must be so sick of mashed potatoes and ice cream. And I realized if that's people's perception of what a no chew diet is, that's not very nourishing for a body that is trying to heal. And so I became very passionate about researching options that are not only nutritious and good building blocks for healing, but that are also tasty and make you want to eat. Because I can tell you what, like, especially having to go back to this blended diet, like, I just look at food, even with the recipes in my own cookbook, I'll look at food and I'm like, if I have to eat one more blended thing, I'm gonna throw up. Um, but my hope was to combat that a little bit. So over the last year, I've been experimenting with different recipes, also researching different minerals and vitamins that are important for cellular regrowth, um, and for inflammation and other things, and trying to incorporate those nutrients into very intentional meals. I think as of now, the it's 67 pages, different recipes, ranging from full liquid to soft chew. Well, I do like blended, and then kind of ranging all the way to soft, medium, and full function. I only put a couple of full function recipes in there because we all, can access a trillion cookbooks on how to just cook food at a full function diet. But I wanted to put a couple in there as a celebration. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be a hard copy option along with an electronic option, which I think the electronic one is actually going to be better because we're doing some work with incorporating some of the other things I've done with this YouTube channel and Facebook group as well. So stay tuned. I'm so excited about it. It's kind of fueling my recovery right now, giving me something to work towards and to be excited about, because this has not been fun. Pain-wise, I will say I'm hurting more than I was expecting. I think because in my mind I was like, oh, this is so, such a small surgery compared to the first one. But I kind of, which is a big other than the fact that he didn't move the bones this time, I kind of had a Lefort again. And so I keep forgetting, like at this point with the first surgery, today was the day we were coming home from St. Louis. We stayed there for 2 weeks after, and I have been trying, I don't think I've been very gracious with my body, and I have been wanting to move this quicker than is appropriate. So my friends and family have been reminding me, this was still an invasive surgery. You had 2 surgeries in 6 days. Allow yourself to rest. So ways I'm doing that is not setting alarms so that I wake up on my own schedule. Other than about 3 days in the last 2 weeks, I've taken a midday nap, and that's been really restorative and regenerative. I am still sleeping elevated, and then I'm sleeping with my ice machine on my face every night. It probably stays on for about 3 hours before I turn it off because it gets warm. Pain medicine wise, at first I was taking Percocet and ibuprofen alternating every 3 hours, so that each one was being taken every 6 hours. I was able to space that to every 10 hours, which I found out was a mistake. And when I had spaced to every 10 hours, I switched to Tramadol instead. So that was too quick of a progression. So I have included PRN or as needed Percocet back into that pain routine. I am also taking Klonopin at night and then a tizanidine in the morning, which are muscle relaxants. So all of these I'm slowly tapering off of. I'm actually down to 3/4 of a Klonopin and starting that wean now. And that's what I'm doing with my meds. My med spa schedule I've increased on, so I'm going to the med spa every week. That's a chiropractic adjustment, acupuncture, and a foot detox soak. Um, and I think that's the majority of what I'm doing right now. Thankfully, I don't have any limits on how much I can open, so I am able to continue to open my mouth and hopefully keep my mobility. And then I also went to the orthodontist today. He kept cleared me to continue the same schedule, so they did change out the power chain on my top here, which I was so nervous about, and it went better than I expected. So mainly my pain is right here on my right side. That's the main thing, like both in the incision and right here. But in general, I think I'm doing very well. I just forget to acknowledge that sometimes. So I emailed my therapist and told her she didn't know everything that had happened. I told her I needed to grieve and process a lot, but that I was not ready to do that yet because I think I'm going to cry very hard, and that hurts, and I need to heal a little bit more before I do that. So it's okay to know your body and postpone your grief, as long as you plan on addressing it, um, and do that with the right people in the right space. So please reach out if you guys have any questions or any advice. This community has meant so much to me throughout this journey, and especially with this complication and the emotional roller coaster that's come with it. So I'm so grateful for you guys, and I'll keep you posted. Thank you.